Warning: the following podcast show that you're about to listen to will include explicit language and content in which you, the members of the audience, may find offensive. Audience discretion is advised.
Welcome to another episode of the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience.
Yeah, boy.
Where anything and everything is a subject matter on the show, and no subject matter is ever taboo.
Damn, that's what's up with you.
And now, your host with the most, Mr. Kim Hoang. Bro, am I getting paid for this?
Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How in the world are you? This is your boy Kim Hoang, the Asian sensation, and we're here recording and creating another great episode of the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience. And I'm coming at you from, I guess you can say, from our little computer studio, or our little computer room over in Wheaton, Maryland. This is the prototype studio, and we're doing it up, and things are going pretty good. And so far, I think everything is going pretty well. You know, I did a little bit of a technical run earlier today, making sure that at least from our end, that things were up and running and ready to go. And it seems like everything is okay. So in that case, you know, I can say with full confidence that, we're good. You know, I got nothing to worry about. Everything is kosher. We actually, believe it or not, there are times in our end that, unfortunately, when we do an interview, sometimes the technology gods, they're really disappointed in us. And for some weird reason, I did this interview before, and I thought everything was going pretty well. And, when I checked it out and I reviewed it and everything, things were not good. So that really was unfortunate, and it sucked, for a lack of a better term. But in life, in the world of sports, especially in golf, we have a term called a mulligan, which means it's a do-over. So guess what? The first interview that I had with this gentleman pretty much is a do-over. We're doing it again. Before we did it in person, this time we're doing it through the interwebs. And it's a good thing because, one thing that everybody knows about me is that, when I do an interview, I want to be professional. I want to make sure that I'm there. I want to make sure that I'm on time. I want to make sure that everything is running 100%, at least, from the things that I can control. And yeah, we're here. We're going to be interviewing a gentleman that is from MoCo, from the Montgomery County, Maryland area. So, not too far out from Washington, D.C. He is in the acting industry, the local acting industry, as a director. I'm pretty sure that he's done other stuff, that is related to the acting industry. And we're going to go ahead and talk to him a little bit about, what he's done in terms of like the projects that he's directed, possibly projects that, he's acted in, get to know a little bit more about him and so forth. And, this is it. We're ready to do it. So the take two is now finally in full effect. So for the one time in the interweb studios of the prototype studio of Wheaton, Maryland, Juan Morales is actually here once again. Juan, I guess we can say technically, welcome back once again, my friend.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, no, I mean, the first time I have to say it was really good, and the fact that it turned out not so great, I really felt bad. I was like, man, how in the world did this situation occur? This is not cool. Like, I'm not liking that.
Yeah, I mean, things happen. It's nothing's ever perfect, but hey, this is also what I have to deal with too. It's never done on the first take.
I hear that. Well, first and foremost, how you been, man? How's everything? How was your day today? Was everything good, like how you wanted it to be, or was it a little bit not? Where were you at today?
Pretty much all over the place. Just a lot on my plate right now. A lot of things I have to do.
Mm.
and a lot of unexpected things. But all in all, I'm all right.
You know what they usually say, as long as, every morning when it's the sunrise, or, when the alarm rings or whatever, as long as you're actually awake and you're breathing and you're walking around, you're doing something right. So in that sense, you're doing the right things. Everything is good. And as far as I'm concerned, you're doing the best thing that you can. That's the most important.
Yeah, that's all can ever do. But grateful for everything. Grateful for that I am where I am. So
Nice.
yeah.
I hear that. I hear that. So let's go ahead and jump right into it, man. I mean, you're a local film director, straight out from the Rockville, Maryland area.
That's right. Been working in this industry for 5 years now. Started with short films. Took a couple classes in college, but for the most part, pretty much self-taught.
Okay. Well, let's start from the genesis of things. I mean, in the beginning, what kind of person were you, like, back in the day? Were you like a very artistic person, like liking art and just like creativity in that sense? Were you an athlete? Were you a very much a popular person that was always hanging out with the crowd? Were you kind of a little bit more of an introvert? What kind of person was Juan Morales back in the day?
Um, Pretty work oriented, trying to finish school, do everything that I needed to do. I was always a creative person, but this wasn't really something I wanted to do, or well, I wanted to do it just at the time growing up, something I didn't think I should do or was allowed to do. Social pressures and whatnot. I actually went to school to be a psychiatrist, but I ended up here, which is honestly awesome.
Oh, okay. Um, what school did you go to? I mean, did you go like community college, like Montgomery College, and then transfer to a 4-year university, or did you do like 4-year university straight out?
I went to Montgomery College. I went to both the Rockville and the Germantown campuses, and then I went to University of Maryland in College Park.
Nice, nice. When did you graduate from Maryland?
2021.
Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. So exactly 4 years ago.
That's right.
Nice, nice. What was your major in psychology, or did you change majors?
I changed majors a lot. I started in psychology, then I got psychology. I tried to do a dual major, psychology, chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
Then I eventually, through a whole bunch of different paths, I ended up in English, but media studies concentration because it was the closest thing I could get to studying film in,
Nice,
at UMD because they didn't really have a program.
nice. At what point in your life did you actually discover like the acting industry? Like, what kind of, like, do you remember like the first movie that you saw that made you go, wow, that's what that is? That's pretty cool.
Uh, the first movie that I saw, I mean, it's hard to pinpoint what I think the earliest film that I can think of right now at the top of my head that um I want to say still one of my favorite films is it The Mark of Czar? I think it's the first one with Antonio Banderas.
Okay.
That was one of my first films that really really got me into loving cinema. And from then there, most of the stuff was thanks to spending time with my dad. My dad really was a really big '80s movies fan, so like Back to the Future, what else? Groundhog Day, Ghostbusters, that kind of stuff is like really influential for me. That really made me think like, damn, that's really cool. I want to make something like that.
Seeing all those films, obviously, it definitely sounds like it influenced you. But when you actually saw that, those said films, what made you at that point decide this is probably something that I should pursue? Maybe because if I'm starting to like this stuff, I might possibly develop an interest towards it. So, what made you come up with that idea to, maybe jump into the land of the unknown that is this industry?
Just the desire to just escape, really. To not have to think about like what's actually going on in the world, and being able to like go off to these like far out universes, or this wacky ass adventures out there, like those, that kind of like escape for me was something that was really what's the word, awe-inspiring. Like it was something that really made me think like, yeah, this is really interesting. This is really cool. Like I knew all of it was fake, obviously, even at a young age, but it was like it just had such an admiration for the amount of work that goes into it. Um, that really made me think like that's something I want to do.
Okay, right on. Did you know at that point that like did you know at that exact point that you were locked into it, or did you kind of have reservations at the time? Because you know there are going to be people that they look at a film and they're inspired by it, and initially they're like ready to go. They're all in. They're locked in. But then, like at a moment's notice, a little bit later, there's like a slight hesitation. Did you ever at that moment think like, even though I like this industry, I don't know whether or not if I'm going to be, basically I can succeed in this, or I might be biting off a little bit more than I'd chewed.
Definitely. Like a lot of it had came from coming from an immigrant background. Your parents really want you to be like a lawyer or a doctor, something like that. That it's a high paying job and a secure future.
Right.
And filmmaking, really, it's kind of a gamble most of the time.
Right.
It was that like really put me off, and it was something like, man, should I really do this? Should I not? What are people gonna think?
Mhm.
Eventually, I stopped caring about that. As you get older, you just don't really care what other people think, and you just you're more focused on like your own personal happiness.
Yep.
But at the same time, I mean, even to this day, the idea of like how much a film goes into filmmaking, like the amount of money you need to make like a big production and whatnot,
Mhm.
that that's also something that still like does bother me, but it's just an obstacle you have to overcome. It's same thing with like it's a whole bunch of different factors that could throw off anyone, but again, I just see it as things you can overcome. Networking, just go out and meet people. Those people, you never know who you're going to talk to. One person might like it, they might like it, and their friends might like it, and it just keeps going down and down and down, and you've got all these people who really believe in your idea that will back you no matter what. But yes, it's just something you just have to overcome, really.
Mm. I definitely understand from your point of view, going back a little bit, because for me, I'm a son of immigrants, coming from like, a Vietnamese background. And, the one thing I can say, I don't know if it's strictly like a cultural thing or it could be an international thing, but at least in my immediate culture, the Vietnamese culture, they always want their kids to really succeed and have like a stable life. And like you said, like job fields and careers like doctors, lawyers, engineers, or, something with technology can really give you like that sense of like good security for the rest of your life so that you'll be well taken care of. And anything else that you do, like let's say if you did want to do acting or directing or being a teacher or so forth, they feel like automatically it's a failure, So by that, did your parents think that if you, or when you announced that you're thinking about considering to be in the film industry, did they give you any grief saying like, oh man, you're going to fail, this is not good, you're wasting your time? Or did they kind of like embrace the idea?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, they completely shut it down. Like the fact, like just especially my mother, just the idea of taking on like such a huge risk, um,
Mhm.
was something that like it was really hard for her to like, what's the word,
To comprehend.
to comprehend and encourage me.
Yep.
Uh, and that's I wasn't really mad at it. She's just trying to look out for what's best for me.
Right.
But yeah, it was one of those things that I really had to like get past on my own and persevere.
Hmm.
Because honestly, the like once I made my first film, and even if it wasn't the greatest, like um, just taking on that undertaking and my mom looking at it and seeing that like wow, like he made something. He actually made something. He put his mind to it, and he made something like that. That changes a person, and they're like how they perceive your, well, for lack of a better word, your gamble, and they start seeing as less as a risk and more with a more human lens to it. Like start thinking about your own personal happiness rather than just what's best for the sake of what's best.
Right. At what point did they actually embrace the idea fully and kind of, in a sense, gave the blessing?
Definitely my second film. The first one was like, yeah, that's great. You did something that's really cool. You got all this new experience, but there was still that like, oh man, like there was a lot of stress on him. But once I made my second film and like I started going into a lot of film festivals and like people were hearing about me and I started getting like jobs because of it. That was a turning point for my mom where she started to like really believe what I was doing.
Mm, I feel that. When you first decided to go for it and to enter in the world of the local film industry or so forth, did you want to be a director right away, or did you want to try your hands on something else like acting?
Um, I'm not really too much of a fan for acting. I mean, if it's like a big role that I have to be in, like for the just because I can't find another actor or because I'm impatient and I really want to get down to something. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
in that case, like I'll do acting, but for the most part, not directing. Like without a doubt, I'm really particular with how I like things, and I always trust my staff and everything, and people who I work with. But I am again, I'm very particular with what like how things should be. Like just like the moment I have like I have an idea. I know exactly how I want things shot. I know exactly like how I want the kind of actor or actress I want in my film. Like, so yeah, definitely like director because it just gives me the most control and helps me express my creativity the best.
You don't think that being an actor would kind of fulfill that? Because acting, in a sense, it's like it's in the same world. It's just a different style, but yet it still has the same key elements of creativity that a director would have.
Oh no, for sure, for sure. But I mean, everyone's different. For me, um, it's hard for me to be in front of a camera most of the time, unless it's like a really small cameo role, that's primarily like a gag, part of a gag or something. It's hard for me to play like a serious character, for example, but I can definitely do something like small and comedic, uh, and find a lot of enjoyment in it.
Mm, mm. So let's go ahead and talk about the journey. What was before you actually made your very first film? What was the journey like for you, trying to navigate in the industry, or even to get in the door of local film?
Uh, Really, the biggest step was finding the will to make a script, really to put an idea in your head and make it a reality, and like even if it's as simple as putting it on paper. Like that was the biggest step, because it's really hard when you're starting out and you know there's a lot of pressure, even if no one else may believe in your idea or whatever, but there's a lot of pressure coming from yourself, at least from my point of view, to make sure that your first impressions count and all that. So you want to always think about like, what idea can I do? Like what's a good story for this? What's a good story for that? Or like, what's something I could do? And like all those things running through my head was really, really tough for me to get past, but it was an important part of my journey because it helps you determine like how your style of filmmaking.
Making that decision about going for it, did you have any expectations about, being in the local film industry? Like, did you think like right off the bat that I'm going to be successful? Did you think, maybe my first few times of doing it, I'm probably going to make mistakes? Where were you at going into the field?
Definitely gonna need two jobs. That was my first.
Good God, man.
Yeah. To be completely honest, like that I was very realistic with everything, and going into it, it was just the first thing that always came to mind is like, financial security is one thing that I have to make sure, and yeah, it was just that uncertainty.
Mm. Mm. How did you shake the fear? Because I mean, it seems like you had a slight reservation, and then it just dissipated.
I kind of just stopped worrying about it.
Kind of stopped worrying about. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how else to put it. It's. I mean, I don't want to downplay anything and say like it wasn't like a big thing. I didn't go through a lot, but I did. But it's one of those things that like eventually you just get like tired of beating yourself up, of feeling inadequate, and you just like you lose that energy, and then the only energy you got left is like to keep going forward.
Right on. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the journey. Let's talk about what you have done and so forth in the world of film. What was your first project that you actually filmed?
It was a crappy rom-com movie that I got together with a couple friends. It's where I met my good friend Joey, who's my director of photography.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really crappy love story that I still cringe to this day, like thinking about it. And I don't know how in God's green earth that it got like, it's probably more. Last time I checked, like 200,000 views. It's like my most watched video. It's bizarre to me. I don't know. I don't know why, but yeah, that was my first one, and it was an experience. I met a lot of cool people. I did a lot of cool things. Yeah, it was a great starting point. It taught me a lot, like the basic, especially like the patience that you need as a director.
Mm.
Like I tell Joey, I'm the guy who has to deal with everyone's bullshit. So,
Oh God,
yeah,
man.
that was great training, especially when you're starting out and you have no idea what you're doing and you have to juggle like 1,000 things at a time. Man, it is stressful, but it was a fun experience. It was a fun. I don't know how to put it. It's a fun kind of stress. I don't know how else to put it. It helped me grow a lot.
Okay. What other films have you filmed since that time?
Since then, I went. My second one was Blood Work. Well, sorry, let me take it back. I made before that. In between Blood Work and my first film, I did dabble into like audio dramas where I made a story that was basically the foundations for Blood Work, which is like the steampunk fantasy horror short film that I made. And from there I went into making smaller projects while I'm also making bigger projects. I made Fix, I made The Midnight Showing, which are really small, low budget, very low budget. And I'm talking about like $100 and some bubble gum to put that thing together.
Oh, dude, no way.
but I made it work, and it was those were fun. And then at the same time working on bigger projects like The Runaway, where I had multiple different places that locations, a bigger cast, and now my latest film, The Last Shift, which was an even bigger project. It was quite the journey.
Right on. Right on. I'm actually referencing your social media right now. One thing that you did was a short called The Runaway.
Yes.
Nice. Nice. I got that. Let's see. It was actually it was explained on your social media page by actor Christopher Inlow.
Oh man, I love Christopher's such a great actor to work with.
Okay. Okay. What was it about? What was it about Christopher Inlow that you're like, yeah, this is the dude I want to work with, or
Really?
how did you get him on board?
Oh well, I met him through a Facebook group, that like the DMV filmmakers, when I posted a casting, and like he was just a really good actor, but beneath his acting skills, like his ability to like really embody his character, and really like get into it and whatnot. Like he's a really down to earth guy, really cool guy to talk to, like off set and on set, like where you in between takes. He's got a lot of great stories and honestly a plethora of information to pass down to other people who are willing to listen. But yeah, like really good, a great guy, like really easy to work with. Like definitely, like any idea you have in mind, he is always the guy who will humor you, so to speak, and for the sake of the shot or whatever. Like really great guy. Like I would definitely love to work with him in the future.
That is a short film, The Runaway, that is on YouTube. Also, the midnight showing is also on YouTube. Is that correct?
Correct, and that one was one of my literal no budget short films that I made into reality, but that actually was me playing every single role because of how cheap I am for that one. But no, yeah.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. That's pretty cool.
No, it was fun. I mean, it was one of those things that like I actually had actors in line. And just things happen, and at the time I only had so much. I only had so much time to film that, and because I was dealing with like multiple jobs at the time, there wasn't any time for me to say like, okay, let's schedule for this day or that. Like whatever date I put on there, it had to be that day, and it was literally me and Joey for the most part for the majority of the shoot. I think like one day I got like my buddy and his cousin to help me out, but it was mainly just me and Joey, and yeah, we made wonders. It was hours and hours of work in post, but it was well worth it.
Oh, right on. Now, I'm also seeing on your social media page that you actually had what I think is a full-length movie called The Last Shift, where one Jordan Hunley, actress, who was also an alumni here on the Kim Hoang podcast experience. She was a past guest. She was in that film.
Yeah, it was actually a short film that's advertising for a feature full length that I want to get off the ground eventually, which is Three Piece Man. So that one's actually the first of three that I'm working on. That was a very fun project. Working with Jordan on that was really fun. It's all like all these three films are supposed to be like marketing material for my feature length film. It's supposed to be one. Each film is supposed to be about one of the three main characters, and it's these three high school kids.
Mm-hmm.
In this one, it's supposed to be about Scott, who's like this kid who has dreams of becoming an actor, making it big. You know, those kind of dreams that you ambitious things that you think about when you're in school. And it's just mainly about following those dreams and pursuing and finding out what's important in life, which is, in my opinion, your own personal happiness. Because the consequences of pursuing things like money for the sake of money, or just to feel financially secure because you need, this and that, it all leads, in my opinion, to bad things if you don't take into account your own personal happiness.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the because I'm looking at the actual poster, the film poster. Jordan Hunley as Sugar Pop. We have Brian Barksdale as the boss. Thomas Leahy as Sunshine, and Sadiq Abdul Hakim as Hollywood.
Yes, sir. And that's actually Thomas was he we met on The Runaway. He was one of my leads on The Runaway. Another great actor and a really good guy to talk to. He played Sunshine. Oh man, that he was perfect for that role. We originally he was supposed to be well, no, not him, sorry, that wasn't, but originally we had like another idea for his character, because we based Sugar Pop and Sunshine off of Pulp Fiction's crap, I always keep forgetting,
Vincent and Honey Bunny.
Yeah, Honey Bunny, yeah. Based off them, just the roles were reversed, and it was originally going to be the other way around. But I thought, like, that's kind of boring, and like, it just copy and pasting. Let's spice it up, change a few things here and there, and make, give them something new, something fresh. And Thomas did like an amazing job playing that, clueless, like head in the clouds kind of like crook.
As a director, when it comes to like making a film and making it be what it is as a reality, how do you actually pick the actors and select the actors that you want on your project? Because there's a lot, and I do mean a lot, of talented actors here in the DMV alone that are just hungry to be a part of some kind of project. And it's kind of like Lay's potato chips, where it's like, you can't just have one, but at this moment though, specifically, you have to have like the one. Otherwise, it's not going to work out. So, what's your process?
Pretty simple, really. I mean, yeah, there's a lot, like you said, there's a lot of talent, and with all that talent, you got to create a system on how you're going to select the right person. And for me, it's usually like, I go through every single email and every single one, but always like, within a specific time frame. So like, if I say I need it by Friday, like I have to cut it off. Like there was a few exceptions where I'll get into it, but like, for the most part, I try to be very professional and keep to like a certain requirement. I don't like any people that turn in like their audition tape super late. Because to me, that's that's first impressions. If someone doesn't turn in, like sends an email on time before that, it just, to me, that just gives me like a red flag off the top. So I essentially just go off through everything, make sure that I go off a specific date and keep those dates to make sure that everyone's treated fairly. I never ever take into account, because I personally, I don't like writing like, unless I really, really need to, for whatever reason, like the story calls for it.
Yep.
How a character looks, like I disregard. I don't think about like the character. I never think about how they look. I think more about their performance. I think that's more important than anything. But again, unless the script calls for it for whatever reason, whatever role that I need. But from there, after countless of like hours of like, going through footage after audition tape and seeing them, I usually pick 3 from one character. In the case, in the case of like Sugar Puppet Sunshine, theirs was special. I took like three actresses for Sunshine and three actresses for Sugar Puppet, actors for Sunshine, and I made them like do other additions again on top of that with different scenes so that I get like a better feel of how it's going to work with them. And from there, I pick like again just two of them, and those two would be like going on a Zoom call or in person or whatever works best, where they would like show me their chemistry with each other because that's really important. Um, and from there, yeah, I just make my pick, like whoever works best with actors, whoever embodies the role. To me, those are the most important thing: chemistry and just how you like embody your character.
Mm, mm. How important is it, to work with actors that have like high professionalism? Because there are some that are very professional. They're there to actually get the job done, to work hard and to make a project happen. But then again, you're going to find that there's going to be some actors out there that, for a lack of a better term, are some prima donnas, some Karens, what have you, So what is your take on that?
For me, I'm a very, at least like I like to think so, down to earth guy when it comes to these kind of things. These things to me are supposed to be fun, but I'm very serious when it comes at the same time, like when it comes to this, because I'm putting an investment into something and I expect like a return, and in that I you can joke around, you can be this or that, but the one thing I don't accept is like people with a horrible attitude. They're not very professional. That are going to be showing up late. They're not responding to your calls. To me, that's just like that's not going to work. Like that's why like I like to maintain like strict like a strict code when it comes to like actors, like and to make sure that like I only take auditions until a certain date, because if you're sending them after, it's you had more. I always give them more than 2 weeks to respond, and if you're not able to do that, then to me that just shows that you're not going to work well on set. And I don't have time for people who are not going to make things as smoothly as possible, not just for me but for their coworkers, because people are there to have fun. Like I said, to have fun. They don't want to be there to wait for someone to come on set and they're like 2 hours late or something. Like, we don't have time for that. We got to keep it moving. We got to keep things smooth, running as smooth as possible, because otherwise it's just going to affect everyone's day and it's going to affect the production overall, and we're just going to it's going to affect a lot of things. So to me, professionalism is like number one.
I've seen that with the projects that you have mentioned and the projects that that I've seen listed, a lot of them are kind of like short film based, and I think it's either kind of like a thriller or a horror-esque type of thing. I could be wrong, but that said, is that something that you're going to continue to just do shorts, or do you eventually in the long run want to do like a full length, like, definitely more than an hour worth of film, for the story?
Definitely. I definitely want to do something like way bigger budget than I'm normally comfortable with. I think the biggest thing was like $20,000 or $30,000, somewhere around that ballpark for the last shift.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to go like further and beyond with that, like given the opportunity, making sure that I have the finances for that, or the backing or whatever. I do want to go into a full length feature. I think that's that's naturally the evolution for every filmmaker. It's the next big step.
Was it that initially you wanted to do shorts because it was a little bit less expensive? Or did you want to do shorts first just to kind of get your feet wet of being a director and being a filmmaker?
For me, it's a little bit of both. It's they're not as expensive. which is a big plus for me, and where I am currently. But at the same time, it it helps me grow because I feel like when I get to when I get to a feature film, I don't want it to be, I don't want it to look cheap, to look like it was made, like it's a student film. I want it to look professional. I want it, when I get there, like at the very least, that's going to be like the bare minimum for me. So short films are sort of like that training for me to get my feet off the ground and like, or not get up off the ground, get my feet in the water, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah. So at that point, you've done, some good projects. Obviously you are definitely in this, project, or I'm sorry, in this field in the long run. So where does Juan Morales go from here? Like, what, where's the glass ceiling?
I don't know. I don't really see like limits. I think there's always potential to grow, and I don't know what the future has in store for me. But definitely, keep doing this in whatever capacity I possibly can. Keep pursuing uh higher levels, higher form, higher what's the word? Feature films and whatnot. The next big steps and whatnot.
Right.
Always just pushing forward. Because I'm always up for a challenge. I just want to grow as a person, as a creative, as a professional.
What kind of film, like in terms of genre, would you like to film a lot, or would you like to have an opportunity to film? Because it seems like at this moment right now, there's like only like maybe like one style that you do.
Um, I'm really. Excuse me. That's my cat.
Oh, there you go. Hey, shout out to the cat. We don't discriminate.
I really don't have I don't know. Sorry, could you repeat the last one? My cat like made me completely forget what you were saying.
No problem. No problem. Basically, I was asking. It seems like you do like maybe one style or one type of genre at this moment. So, I mean, where do you see yourself in terms of like, do you want to, keep doing what you're doing genre wise? Do you want to kind of mix it up to other type of genres? Because we've already established that you, in the grand scheme of things, you would like to transition into making full length feature films, and that's awesome. But are you still going to do the genre that you're just kind of doing as of right now, or would you want to jump in other styles and other genres of film?
I mean, yeah, definitely. Like I'm always up to try different things. I don't ever want to limit myself to like a single genre, a single style.
Right.
I think that keeps things interesting, and it just helps you grow. Like lets you know what you can and can't do, or ways to improve yourself.
Mm, mm. I see that. I see that. What's the ultimate goal for you as a director? Because they usually say when it comes to the film industry, especially on a more of a professional level, by that I mean like the real top echelon of where acting is and the filmmaking industry is. They say that Hollywood is the place to go. So is that where you want to go, or are you trying a different way to, build your success and have people see that you don't have to go to Hollywood in order to be successful and to get where you want to go?
I mean, the industry is always changing. I know now, like there's a big push to expand in New York, for example, with like I think it's Robert De Niro, or was it the guy from Rust? I can't remember his name right now. Sorry, I'm blanking. But like, yeah, there's a big push over there, like to expand the industry and whatnot, as well as like internationally. So I don't really see as Hollywood as like the last stop, the place you need to be at all the time. Like I think it's a good place to go, and like to grow. It's because it's the industry. It's definitely the place you would like to go to further your career. But then, there's many great filmmakers like that come from all walks of life all over the globe, especially like, for example, like in Europe, you have so many different famous directors, actors, you name it, that come from there. So I don't really think Hollywood's like the last stop for will be the last stop for me. I really go wherever the wind takes me, wherever I feel would benefit my career. Just keep like allowing me to go bigger, better than before.
Hmm. I hear that. I hear that. Well, so far we've been doing pretty good. This is awesome, and it's a great conversation. But I truly feel like the Kim Hoang podcast experience would not be a full length episode unless we actually include a tradition here on the podcast, which is our world famous rapid fire challenge. And we've done this dance before. We're going to go ahead and do it again. Ladies and gentlemen, for those that might be familiar with it, you already know the deal. For those that may not know what's going on, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to go ahead and ask our esteemed guest, Mr. Juan Morales, a bunch of questions. It could be true, false. It could be multiple choice. It could be fill in the blank. It could be a realism kind of question. It could be a funny mythological question. We don't know. So if I asked, example, like, Juan, between, beer, liquor, or wine, what's your beverage of choice? He might say, I like beer because, it's more of a manlier, masculine beverage to drink. And I would be like, okay, that's cool. I could ask him like true, false. Juan Morales is a person that likes to watch sports. He might say technically that is true because I'd like to watch this type of sport rather than, professional sports. So yes, technically that is true. And I'd be like, okay. Or I could say, Juan, fill in the blank. What really ticks me off is blank. And he could say, what really ticks me off or gets me upset is liars. I can't stand liars. I gotta be working with people that are very upfront and honest. And because life is too short for lies and made up stories and BS. I'd rather just be honest and straight to the point. So Juan, that being said, are you ready for the rapid fire challenge, sir?
Let's do it, my man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Juan Morales is going to go ahead and do this thing. I'm excited. Let's do it. Okay, Juan, here we go. Because you strike me as a person that is all about everything and anything. Like I feel like anything that we can discuss, you can navigate pretty well. Can we say that's pretty accurate?
I'd say so, yeah.
Okay, here we go. If the world was based on the Autobots or the Decepticons, what side are you choosing?
Definitely the Autobots, like without a doubt.
Okay, that's what's up. Is Juan Morales a Walt Disney kind of guy?
Honestly, not really. Not a big fan of Disney.
What?
Yeah, it was never my cup of tea, and I think that's in part because my dad used to play nothing but Disney for quite a long time, and back in the day, and I think that really it wears someone out, like people that don't like ketchup because they've eaten too much ketchup.
Wow, then I guess that you don't have Disney Plus, do you?
Oh, sir.
Oh man. Okay. I mean, I can't blame you for that.
I watch Marvel movies and all that stuff, but yeah, it varies.
Okay. Building up on that, what is your favorite Marvel comic or movie series?
Spider-Man.
Okay. Very cool. Which was the better Spider-Man movie for you?
Tobey Maguire, without a doubt. Sam Raimi.
Which one's your favorite Spider-Man movie that involved Tobey Maguire?
Spider-Man 2.
Okay. I thought you were going to say the OG, like the first one that dropped.
I mean, the first one is great. I think it's a great starting point, but the second one was like, damn, man, that's what it means to be Spider-Man.
Oh, with Dr. Octopus?
Yeah, the whole like responsibility was like a pivotal thing, and like more so than the first one. Like that was literally the only reason he got his powers back. Not just because he felt sad because MJ dumped him, but like that sense of responsibility and understanding what it means to be Spider-Man. Like dang, that hits home. Like I think that was a great movie, like for a person that's growing up and becoming an adult. To me, that's what the whole thing was, just like a metaphor for growing up into adulthood.
True or false? Juan has attended a con like Awesome Con or Otakon.
I have. True.
Nice. Which one did you like better?
I honestly, like, to me, I still have fond memories of going to New York Comic Con.
Okay. When you go to
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Finish what you were going to say.
I said, especially the first time I went was just like I took 3 months to make a 1-to-1 Spider-Man Homecoming suit, and like, oh man, I was so proud when I finished that thing.
Okay. If Juan Morales was going to make an action film, then what A-lister actors that have done action genre films would he want to hire for that film?
I mean, what year are we in?
I mean, we're in the present moment in time, so it's up to you to pick the actors.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt. Wait, how many?
Hey, I mean,
8?
that's up to you.
Okay. Let's see. Tobey Maguire, just because I would love to see him. That would make my day. Daniel Craig. I can't pronounce his last name, but Ken. He directed the Thor movie. He's a really good English actor. I'd have to Google his name. Kenneth. It starts with a B. But yeah, definitely him. I just saw Haunting in Venice, and I thought that was like a really good movie. It's like just think about Sherlock Holmes. Like it was like that. Like he played a really good like Sherlock Holmes-esque kind of character. What else? Alexander Skarsgård, Bill Skarsgård. Literally the whole Skarsgård family. I absolutely love their work. Anna Taylor-Joy. Tom Hardy, although depending on what type of character I make, I like him when he's a serious character. I don't like him when he's Eddie Brock. Personally. What else? Did I say Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ewan McGregor.
Oh, you definitely named a couple of ringers. That's for damn sure.
Keanu Reeves. He's one of my heroes growing up. I love Keanu Reeves and his movies. I don't care what anyone says. I love his movies. And I love Michael J. Fox, although I don't know, with acting and everything, but damn, is like a cameo just to be in his presence would be like mean the world to me.
Nice. What do you think makes a successful director?
Take no bullshit. Stick to your vision. Commit to your vision, like 100%. If you start asking people, does this look good? I don't think you should be a director, personally, because The ship can't steer itself on autopilot. You have to steer it. Very thick skin. Very thick skin, definitely. And an extreme attention to detail.
Hmm. I can dig it. I can dig it. If Juan Morales decided that he wanted to go ahead and make his first full-length film, then who would he want to have as his actors for this great cast for this film?
For my full length film, I would definitely bring back Thomas and Jordan for sure. Because they were great to work with. Definitely bring Christopher Inlow. Oh man. Jackie Kim, I worked with her on The Runaway.
Oh yeah, I know Jackie Kim.
Yeah, great actress. She's really lovely to work with. Trying to think about, does it have to be people I've personally worked with, or
just people that are in the local film industry.
Okay. I think as far as actors, I think those are my top choices. Like I really want to work with them on like a feature film for sure.
Right on. What's the secret in making a very successful script?
Oh, sorry. Let me go back. I forgot one person.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go back for a second.
Shout out to an amazing actor, Sadiq. He was part of my cast on the last shift, and we will definitely work in the future for our the feature film that I have planned. But yes, sorry. Now we may move on. I had to give out that shout out.
Okay, cool. What do you think it makes a very successful script?
It shouldn't read like a checklist. It shouldn't read like here's the action, here's the rising action. It shouldn't read like any of that stuff. It should be unpredictable, like completely unpredictable. I think an amazing script should make you think you know what's going on, and then like hit you in the back of the head and tell you're fucking wrong.
Okay. If you could name 5 of your favorite films of all time, what would they be? And it doesn't have to be in order.
The Prestige, Spider-Man 2, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2, Catch Me If You Can, The Revenant. How many films?
5.
5? How many was that? I think that's 4, right? Yeah.
I think so.
Okay. One more film. I loved Bill and Ted, man. Bill and Ted, the original Bill and Ted. That has like a very sacred spot in my heart. For honestly, that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
I feel you. I mean, who doesn't like Wild Stallions?
Excellent.
Yeah. Execute them. Bogus.
No idea how many times I pretend to myself that I can control the, what was it called, the time keyboard or whatever, just to try to get it like you're in those situations like, damn, I wish I told myself this before.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I hear you. Let's see. Let's think of something different. Between the primary colors of yellow, blue, and red, your favorite primary color is
Red.
Okay. Favorite gaming console?
Console, PS5.
Okay. Name 5 of your favorite video games of all time.
5 of my favorite. Knights of the Old Republic 2. That's I love the first one, but the second one is a far superior game. Even though it has a lot of bugs, if you mod the shit out of it and restore the content, it's a great game. Civilization, I like all of them. I want to say 4 is still, to me, hands down the best Civilization game. You could just do so much with it. Let's see what else. What else? God of War Ragnarok was really good. Marvel Spider-Man. Oh man, see, this is. I like. I might be in the minority, but I prefer the second one on a gameplay level, and just like I just really wanted to play in this in the black suit. Like that was, to me, that's just peak. um, let's see, last one. I want to honestly, I want to say Skyrim, because all I keep coming back to that game. I keep coming back to that game like every year. I am playing it right now. In fact, even though I have like every new game that just came out, I barely touched them.
True or false? Juan Morales does like certain Nintendo-based games.
Oh no, definitely. I love me some Smash Brothers, some Mario Kart, some Luigi's Mansion if I ever had the chance to play that again. Mario Sunshine, Sonic Adventures 2 Battle. Yeah, definitely.
Is Juan a fan of the WWE?
I don't. I watched it as a kid. I don't watch it anymore though, but I loved it.
Boo!
It was great. No, that's honestly that's probably where I got some of my storytelling inspiration, because they had some insane storylines. Like that shit was fake as shit, but the planning that must have gone into that, and like everything, it was just so entertaining.
Okay. Okay. What kind of advice would you give to the next generation of, directors or actors that say, this is the life that I want to be in, and this is the field that I want to be in, and pursue it to the highest level of the highest excellence?
Never stop. Just keep going. Do what you love, and I'll say that there's the best piece of advice, honestly, for me, has always been what my mom always told me, and it sounds weird, but it makes a lot of sense. Like if you've been lived through what I lived, but never worry about the money. Just focus on your project. Find what you need to do. You'll find a way, and then the money will sort itself out. That doesn't mean money's gonna grow on trees. It just means that just focus on what you want to do. You'll find a way to make it with, or it may not be the like what you had it store at the beginning, but you'll make that idea somehow.
What would be the better scenario for you? Having a real great movie with shitty actors, or having great actors in a shitty movie?
A great movie with shitty actors.
Oh, well, now explain why you went that route.
Because I've seen many movies where the actors will carry a film, but god damn those plot holes.
I can't be mad at that. I really cannot be mad at that answer at all. That's as honest as you're going to get. That's as honest as you really will get. When do you think that we'll see you actually making the move, going to Hollywood, California? Do you think that's going to be in this lifetime, or maybe not just yet?
Definitely in this lifetime. I do plan on moving there probably in the next 2 or 3 years. Just waiting on my wife to do her thing and get her master's, and then we'll probably just head off over there. Well, I'll continue my thing, and she'll continue her thing.
Okay. Okay. If you actually saw the younger version of yourself from years ago, what would you tell them?
Get ready for the next. Wait, how old am I? How old am I?
I would say that you found your younger self at the age of 8.
I'd say get ready for a world of pain for the next the next decade or so. But hang in there; it's gonna get better.
Mm.
And probably give them some lottery numbers, just to be safe.
Damn. Okay. Hey, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. That's fair. That's fair. If there's one piece of advice that you could give to all the actors out there that are trying to actually make themselves famous and to be in, a film project, it doesn't have to be your project, but in any film project, what kind of advice would you give them in order to have a fighting chance to actually make it as part of the cast?
I would say rehearse the lines for any audition tape. If you have any questions or concerns, always reach out to the casting director or the director. Because that showing that dedication is a lot. Like I've met a lot of people who I may not have casted them for a certain role, but man, were they determined, and I am going to keep in mind, and I have their contact information for roles that I'm literally making specifically for them because I really like that. I really like that dedication. It tells you a lot about a person.
Okay. Okay. Few more questions. As we know, Mount Rushmore is a major landmark where we actually get to see four of our forefathers of the United States of America. Now, if you can make your own Mount Rushmore of the greatest actors to have ever done it, and you can only choose four, who would you pick?
The greatest actors.
Yep.
Daniel Day-Lewis, because he's Daniel Day-Lewis. Keanu Reeves, because I love Keanu Reeves. Leonardo DiCaprio, because he's Leonardo DiCaprio. And Ron Perlman, because he's fucking Hellboy.
Okay. Okay. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. That's dope. That's dope. When it's all said and done, what kind of legacy do you want to leave the world? Like when they see you and they're like, man, Juan Morales, what do you want them to know about your legacy? What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind?
Just that I'm honest, that it's good to work with. I followed my dreams. I pushed. I was very determined. I didn't let anyone stop me, and I always had the interest of other people in mind as well as mine.
Okay. Last few questions. You get an invitation to go over to a real good restaurant to eat dinner at a 3-star Michelin rated restaurant. And you go over there and you find your table and you find that there are 3 available spots waiting for you to be your guests. Now, who would you invite as your guests? The conditions are that they could be people that you know personally. It could be people that you don't know. It could be somebody that's famous. It could be somebody that's non-famous. They could be alive. They could be deceased. Who would you bring?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat the question again?
Yeah. You get an invitation to go to a Michelin rated 3-star restaurant. And you go over to the restaurant for the dinner, and that you see that your name is listed on the table right there. But you notice that there are 3 available spots, for you to have as a guest. That being said, who would you invite as your 3 guests? Now, the conditions are that they could be somebody that you know personally, or you may not. They could be famous. They could be non-famous. They can be alive, or they could be deceased. Who would you bring?
Quentin Tarantino, Stan Lee, and my grandpa.
Wow. How do you think that conversation would go?
I think Quentin Tarantino would just, and I would just complain about a whole bunch of stuff together. Stanley would try to, be the guy who's just trying to be that chill guy who's just trying to, chill out, everyone. Let's just have a good time kind of guy. It's always seen him. Or just to make a couple of jokes here and there. And my grandpa would just think we're all fucking fools, and I would just laugh my ass off.
I can dig it. I can dig it. Last question. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Where do you see yourself 10 years from now?
Well, 5 and 10. I mean, making film.
Making film.
Yeah, that's all I really can say. Honestly, just doing what I do.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, this is the point of this podcast episode where I let my guests go ahead and say whatever they want. If you have an upcoming project that you want to promote, if you want to give somebody a shout out, if you want to have people know about your social media so that way they can, catch up with what you're doing or contact you. This is now the time to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and step out and let you do your thing.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
And go for it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think the first part broke up a little bit, and I thought you were saying you were leaving.
No. I said this is the part of the. I'll repeat it one more time. This is the part.
I'm sorry, my internet's some crap right now.
This is the part of the podcast where I'm going to let you do whatever that you want. If you want to promote a project that you're going to be in, if you want to give a shout out, if you want to give your social media information so that people can follow you and contact you, and just whatever that you want to talk about, or just say what's on your mind, this is the moment to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and step away and let you say what you need to say.
All right. Well, everyone, just be on the lookout for my film, The Last Shift, coming out later this year. It's currently going to be out in the films, going through the film circuit, with our first stop being at the Maryland International Film Festival in Harrisburg. I think it's Harrisburg. Yeah. I hope to see a couple of you there, and I'm very excited for everyone to see the final product if they can't make it to the festival at the end of the year. Last but not least, I just want to give a shout out again to my cast and crew for The Last Shift: Jordan, Thomas, Joey, Ben, Sadiq, my younger brother Manuel, Nick, Sam. I'm gonna go through all the names, but that's because y'all did such a great job. Alex, Eric, Jorge, crap, and I don't know if I'm missing anybody else, but thank you so much again for my cast and crew for everything you've done. And that is it for me. Oh, and if you want to see any more of my work, check me out at The Wrong Neighborhood Productions on YouTube. Thank you and good night.
This was actually pretty good. I'm glad that we had a chance to run it back again. Because I really felt bad when I was reviewing the footage and it was not good. I was like, fantastic. As I say it sarcastically, but I'm glad that we are running it back. And I know that I will be checking on this episode once it's done. And hopefully, it's going to be better this time around than it did the last time. If it doesn't, God help us. Because, I really seriously, I pride myself in interviewing people and being professional in that way. And if it for some weird reason, if it didn't work out, that I need to get it back. And I recently had a redemption in interviewing a scriptwriter that came all the way from North Carolina. That was cool. I've actually had interviewed an actress that is known locally in the horror genre by the name of Kay Leahy. We did one episode one time. We thought it was good, and it just turned out bad. But when we did it again, it worked out even better. So that was pretty cool. So I'm hoping that this time is going to work out. I just thank you so much for your time, Juan. It's really amazing to, catch up with you and to talk to you and so forth. And you have an open invitation if you want to come back anytime to kind of run it again and just, maybe talk about, maybe newer projects that you're going to be involved in, or maybe talk about like different subject matters. You know what I mean? You have an open invitation to come back.
Thank you so much, and it was I appreciate letting me do this again, and despite all the technical difficulties, it's this is great. I would love to come back and talk some more in the future. When I get some more things finished, which I got a couple things coming up.
Okay, you got a couple of things coming up, but maybe at this point in time, we'll keep it on ice, and maybe when it's out and ready, and you're ready to talk about it, maybe you can be like, hey, I want to come back and talk more about these projects that I have ready to go.
Yeah, for sure, man.
That's what's up, ladies and gentlemen. That about wraps it up here. And I'm really happy and excited that this was yet another opportunity to do what I do best, and most importantly, to run back a situation that went wrong, but we're here to make it right. And it is awesome, and it is amazing. We're going to go ahead and do a little bit of the closing notes. Ladies and gentlemen, I am on a lot of social media. Find me on Facebook under the search box. Type in the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience. You can find me there. Follow me, and that'll be appreciated. We are also on Instagram and on Twitter. You can search for us under the tag name at TKHPC Experience, all in one word, all lowercase letters. You follow me, I'll follow you back. Now I am glad to announce that we are on 6 podcasting platforms, guys. 6. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, Audible, which is a podcasting and an audiobook platform powered by Amazon. Go over to audible.com right now if you want to go ahead and try out a free 1-week trial membership. If you like it, you can keep it, and it's $15 a month thereafter. If not, just go ahead and cancel it before the 7th day, and there is no financial obligation. But if you haven't heard, we are now part of the iHeartRadio family. That's right. So everybody that's out in North America, like the United States, Canada, Mexico, Australia, and New Zealand, we are on iHeartRadio now. So you can go ahead and look us up and check us out, and we're there. It's amazing. Now, do us a favor. If you have Spotify, please give us a 5-star ranking. If you have Apple Podcast, please give us a 5-star ranking and a positive written review, because the more times that you do that, it's going to be good for us. Where our podcast will be thrown in the front of the lines, and people will notice it a little bit better. So somebody might be like, hey, the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience, that's what George was telling me about. We should definitely check it out. Yes, check it out. Like it. Subscribe to it on all of the podcasting platforms that I mentioned. You know what I mean? It would be great. Also, share it with all your friends on social media, whether it be Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter, now known as X. the Snapchat, the TikTok, whatever it is that you do, and or tell people in person, whether if it's a friend, a family member, a coworker, a neighbor, tell them in person and let them know about us. You know what I mean? Because in this industry, it is called brand awareness. Sharing is caring. And we definitely appreciate that. Last but not least, if you want to be a special guest host, if you want to drop any constructive criticism, or if you find a situation where I'm doing a solo episode and you have a question for our Q&A, give me an email. Shoot me up an email. The Kim Hoang Podcast Experience at gmail.com. Whatever the subject is, put it in the subject box. In the body of the email, you write down what you need to write and then send it to me. I will read the email and I'll get back to you within a day or two. That being said, guys, that's it. I want to thank you guys, and I want to tell each and every one of you guys to please be safe out there. It doesn't do us any good if you do anything that you're not supposed to do, some risky stuff, and then, you pass on and get, stuffed in a pine box and get buried 6 feet under. We don't want that to happen to you because we believe in you. We think that you're definitely worth it. And we feel like, you have the potential to do anything that you want in this life. And if anybody tells you otherwise, that you're not worth a damn, you can give them the middle finger and tell them to go F themselves, because you have no time for that negativity. It's all about the love. It's all about the respect. And it's all about just making your dreams come true. You know what I mean? So that being said, for the one time, for my guest, Mr. Juan Morales, who is a director extraordinaire. This is your boy, Kim Hoang, the Asian sensation, coming at you from, Wheaton, Maryland, over at the Prototype Studio in the multimedia room, saying thank you, arigato. We will do it again. And just thank you for the love and support that you give. And just remember that, number one, this podcast is just not only my podcast, it's your podcast. And number two, I'm going to keep on doing this until I literally can't anymore, unless, I throw in the towel or somebody says that I don't want you to do it anymore. That's it. But as long as you guys want me to keep doing what I'm doing here and creating content, I'm going to keep going until that wheels fall off the axles. You know what I mean? I appreciate it, guys. It's been wonderful. It's been amazing. We're going to do it again soon. I promise y'all. And take care of yourselves, all right? It's been real, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And, we'll talk to you soon. All right? Peace.